everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom, and no sooner had the match reviews gone up from the weekend and we're back at it again, 3-game week, so it is Tuesday lunchtime. So here I am with the predictions video for the midweek round of games. We've got some on Tuesday, some on Wednesday, so I will do the Tuesday ones first and then the Wednesday ones. We'll go from top to bottom like normal. Tonight, Norwich, the leaders, go to Hull. Look, there isn't any point me pulling out stats to say how well Norwich are doing. We all know, absolutely brilliant run. So this is now about confidence and consistency for them. I mentioned it in my last one about consistency of team. If they can keep getting that same team out, that's going to significantly increase the chances. It's about now where you start to lose the odd player here and there. They've done 3-game weeks with 9 points twice already this season. They won on Saturday, so tonight at Hull they're looking to set it up as a home game against Rotherham on Saturday, so there's every chance they can do it again. They just need to turn up there and for things to go for them. And you know what it's like when a team's on a run, you just got to ride it out and keep it going. Hull were on a mini run of sorts. They ended at home to Forest on Saturday. All of the stats would seem to imply that Hull are not going to win. If they are going to win, they need output wide from Bowen and Grzycki. They'll both need to have good games. Campbell and Martin up top would need to be trouble in that Norwich defence. But what can you say? First versus 23rd. I've got to go for an away win and those yellows to march on. Will they drag Middlesbrough with them? It's Preston versus Borough tonight, 16th versus 2nd. Borough on the chase. I said Pulis might like that. The machine is in gear. It's whirring. They are on 2 points per game for the past 6 games, so they're in good nick. Beat Brentford on Saturday. Unbeaten in 7, and as reported every week, brilliant defence. We know what's going to happen. You just never know with Borough whether they go a little bit too defensive and unbalanced and end up drawing these games that you think they should win. I say you think they should win because Preston have been in great form, really, really good. I think 8 games worth of 2 points per game from them, but there is a problem. Callum Robinson, who'd been a real standout guy for them, he's done his hamstring and he's going to be out for 3 months. 9 goals and 2 assists he's got so far. That weighs it more in Borough's favour, but this is a difficult one to call. Let's back Mr. Pulis just on the basis that Robinson went. This is a tight one, though. Preston function as a team, so they shouldn't be too reliant on any one player, but it had been very good. Middlesbrough to win, away win. There we go. Leeds versus Reading in the battle of the festivals in the summer. Leeds in 3rd, Reading in 20th. Leeds looking for back-to-back wins. First time that'll be since August. They haven't been able to get the consistency since they lost Roof and Hernandez. They are both back. I looked it up in the last 5 games since they've been back. 6 goals and 4 assists between the two of them. Output from Hernandez and Roof. Reading took a point at Wigan on Saturday. That was only their 2nd point in the last 5 away games. This is going to be much, much trickier. Leeds only losing once so far at home this season. I've got to go for a home win. There you go. I've backed the entire top 3 to win again. I was saying for weeks no one was putting it in, so maybe if they could all have big weeks, that would convince us that there are some decent sides in this division. 2 of them definitely good ball playing sides. Brentford versus Sheffield United will be meeting at Griffin Park. Sheffield United dropped down to 5th. Brentford dropped down far further to 15th. United are on a slide since they reached the summit. Everybody has done that this season. 1 win in 6, and Chris Wilder admitting that even though Rotherham equalised in the last minute, they were quite lucky to get away with a point there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few changes tonight. I know he can switch personally. He's got those 3 forwards, Sharp, McGoldrick and Clark, so maybe one of those would change. Be interesting to see what he does because they're a very settled side. Needs some kind of reaction though, and there's only been nothing's going to have happened on the training field because everyone played on Saturday. So Brentford are in even worse slide. They're down to 15th, only really 4 points above the relegation scrap, but you know, they shouldn't be anywhere near there given they were up the top in the middle of September. Thomas Frank only has one win. That came at home to Millwall. Two of the best teams to watch. Maybe the nerves might take a little bit of the edge off their quality. I'll call it down the middle. Let's say this one is going to be a draw. You would suspect both teams would score, though. Maybe the nerves will kick, and maybe it will be a goalless draw. Let's go for a draw. Moving on, Rotherham in 19th versus QPR. Two teams that it's hard to back against at the moment. Since they lost their first 4 games, QPR have picked up 27 points in the next 14, and they did have 2 straight defeats in the middle of those as well. So 1 point off the gold standard of 2 points per game there. Rotherham have only lost 1 in 9, taken points off Sheffield United and Borough in that run. 2 top 6 teams and informed Preston as well. However, that does only compute to 1 win in 11. So I know there is a bit of a love-in for Paul Warne, and I get it. I really, really get it. Rotherham are the lowest resourced team here. If you added up everybody's wages and where they'd come from, you know, Rotherham finishing anywhere above 24th would be good for them without sounding patronising at all. They do need wins, though. That's what I would say. I don't want this to be the peak of their season, a long run with not actually that many points accumulated. We need to see them get some wins, although I'm full of admiration for Warne and what he's done. I backed Rotherham on Saturday. We've been having a laugh about this on here, having backed them to lose all the while, and they kept drawing and proving me wrong. So let's back them again to do a draw, and QPR maybe would be happy to get away with 2 draws on their 2 away trips and go back home on Saturday. So we say a draw for that one. Ouch, this is a crunch game. Sheffield Wednesday versus Bolton. 2 managers maybe a little bit on the edge. I suppose Parkinson's got a lot of credit in the bank for a promotion, I guess, and handling these financial issues. Josh Luko's got less credit. We've said for a while he's been clinging on. I've seen them both a few times. Neither have convinced me. In many ways, Bolton have followed a plan a bit better than Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday have looked a bit loopy, except when I saw them in the Steel City derby, where their plan was get men behind the ball and got a point, which they did do to their credit. Wednesday 1 point in the last 6, Bolton 2 in the last 6, so not good form from either. And this is one of those games where both teams come in it looking, right, this is a winnable game. Wednesday will be thinking, oh, Bolton are below us in the table and we're at home. Bolton will be thinking Wednesday are in terrible form. This is where you want one of these wins to come from. God, could it be chaos and D-Day for Lukai? Because if Bolton do win there tonight, that may well be it for him. Let's go for a Bolton smash and grab here. Let's go for a Bolton away win and all hell to break loose at Hillsborough. Wow, be interesting if that does happen. Moving on to Wednesday night's games. The highest ranked game is Swansea at home to West Brom. I saw West Brom on Friday, and it was just a matter of them having way better players than Ipswich do. Swansea, on the other hand, they don't have as many good leftovers from Premier League squad than West Brom do. It's 2 inexperienced managers at Championship level, but it looks like, looking at Moore's team, they're looking like they're getting more and more savvy, and God, are they good on the counter-attack. And we know Swansea can be a bit adventurous. I think adding all of those things together, I think it's a good matchup for West Brom. I think one squad's better than the other, and both managers are pretty equal on experience for the Championship. I'm going to go for an away win there for West Brom, them to march on. So there you go, I've backed the entire top 4 to win. Now, on we go to the Pottery, Stoke versus Derby. Gary Rowett, I'm sure the Derby fans will be pleased to see him. Good win for Derby at Hillsborough on Saturday. All their key attackers seem to be performing well, and they bounced back well from that Villa defeat. Stoke are not picking up points fast enough, but I do have a theory on this. I think Derby tend to slip up against more stubborn pragmatic teams. They've lost to Bolton, Rotherham and Millwall, who would fit that difficult to play against trend. I know Stoke have better personnel than those teams, but they are solid and hard on team shape, as Gary Rowett's teams always are. So I'm going to forecast, I'm going to stick my neck out. We've gone for a couple of weird ones. Let's go for a home win on that basis, that Derby have had some better results against better teams, and they might find Stoke quite hard to play against and get that rhythm going. This should be a good one. Villa versus Forest. Two teams on the edge of the playoffs shooting to get in. I was at Villa on Sunday for their epic Alan Hutton inspired win against Birmingham. They are going to be super confident. There's a feeling that something's happening there at Villa. 4 wins in 6 for Smith, 3 wins on the trot now. Forest are always a stubborn opponent. This would almost be easier for Villa if it was away, if it was at the City ground, because I think there'll be no pressure on Forest to come out, and we know a Karanka defence can be very, very stubborn. Only 2 defeats all season for Forest. They're not going to be a pushover. I think they're going to get a draw. I'm going to go for a draw in this one. Villa's momentum to be halted slightly in the short term by Forest. Wigan at home to Blackburn. Wigan in 17th, Blackburn in 11th. Blackburn took a bit of a pasting from Preston on Saturday. Another Northwest derby away, so it doesn't get any easier. Wigan had been on a horrible losing streak, so they kind of halted that. But look, it's a 0-0 draw against a team lower than you in the division against Reading. So they halted it in the most inauspicious way you kind of could. Blackburn have been so steady this season. They always come back from their bad results. I know Wigan have only lost 1 home game. I think that stat still stands against Leeds. I'm going to go for an away win. I'm really sticking my neck out. You probably get really good odds on this. Someone back this, because you'll probably make about £250,000 if all of these come in. Away win. Blackburn to win. Wigan. Millwall at home to Birmingham. As I said, I was at Villa Birmingham on Sunday. Everything kind of went against Birmingham a little bit. It was a good moment for Villa, and they were kind of destined to win that one, I think. All the things I've praised about Birmingham should come back into play on this game. Steady team, strong team shape, good and direct, and they should be able to, Morrison and Dean and Colin at the back there should be able to handle the difficult side of Millwall, the pressing and direct stuff into Tom Elliott or Morrison, whichever one starts there. Millwall just can't seem to get going this season, and if I were Millwall, I'd fancy a team who was going to be a bit more reserved with their passing. You know, the Birmingham can hit you quite directly, and those 2 big forwards can just they can get goals against any team just with their presence and the way the ball's delivered to them. I'm not calling Birmingham a kick and rush team by any means, but they're direct in the good sense. Don't know what's happening with Hotter. Don't know whether he'll be back. He wasn't there on Sunday. Sorry to Millwall fans. I'm going to go for an away win in this one as well. Birmingham to get back into it. I've never predicted so many away wins. Last but not least, Ipswich in 24th at home to Bristol City. My God, this is another one. I said about one of the earlier games, can't remember which one it was. It was Wednesday, Bolton, wasn't it? One where both teams will come in seeing it as a winnable game. This is like the mother of must-win games here. Lee Johnson, he's got to be teetering on the edge there. I know they had to sell players in the summer, but it's streaky as always, and they're 4 defeats on the trot again. Maybe owners and fans might start to lose patience, and it's never good to lose against the bottom team. That always seems to be quite symbolic in these situations. Ipswich, they just have to win, because you start to look at it, there's 18 games gone. If they lose this one or draw it even, that'll be 19 games gone. In the next 2 games are Forest away and Stoke away before Wigan come to Portman Road. So, you know, that would be games 20 and 21, and then you're going into the Wigan game. And how far are you adrift by then? Ipswich really, really need to win this one. So I'm going to ignore any logic, any stats, and pour my heart out as an Ipswich fan and predict a win with nothing behind it other than I really, really hope that it happens. They desperately need that win to give them some kind of respite going into those 2 hard away games. Anyway, that concludes this set of predictions. My God, it's a really busy week. I'm going to be at Brentford, Sheffield United tonight. Look out for that match review. Then I will be at Ipswich, Bristol City for, as I call it, the mother of all must-win games for both teams. We'll do the review on Thursday. Then we'll do the preview for the weekend's games, and then I'll be at Forest on Saturday. Wow, all go in the Championship. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're a fan of any Championship team, please get in the comments. Been chatting to some fans of other teams on Twitter, at Benjamin Bloom. Most of my information comes from people commenting on the videos with insight and tweeting me and whatnot. It's not from any highlights or any TV stuff. It's all from interactions with Championship fans. So it's really important to me. Get your comments in. Really do appreciate it. If I don't reply, sometimes I get loads. If I don't reply, it doesn't mean I haven't read it. I will read every single one, and you'll probably hear me recite back some of the information you've said in later videos. So I really do appreciate it. What would really help me most is if you could subscribe. We're nearly up to 3,500. That would be brilliant. I never dreamed we'd have that many on the channel. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get back to work in this hectic week, and see you tonight for the review of the Brentford Sheffield United game. Thanks for watching.